Ready? And we are back. We're going to bring you coverage of TeamCRG taking on VeryGames. I believe we are already live in game, so let me drop us straight in game now, so we're not wasting any more time. Still need to remove that camera from the game scene. Do apologise about that. Anyway, we are live. That's the pistol round underway. I think that's just finished. Yep, there we go. So VeryGames picking up the pistols on the CT side. How important is it on Inferno to get those CT pistols?
Generally in CSGO now, CT pistol winning it is going to be huge for you, considering the Glocks. But yeah, it's good for VeryGames to pick up the pistol around there. This is a CT biased map, and it will just make it a lot easier for them to actually to pick up this game against CRG.
Well, there we go. Back in game now. Do apologise about that. Just had to adjust something with Expert real quick. As you can see, VeryGames actually taking 2 casualties early here. Kenny going to grab the double kills though, so it does mean that we are going to see a plant here on the Banana site. Of course, Banana, I don't think it's as approachable as it once was, is it? Because you don't have the sort of, you know, you can't AWP onto Banana itself from that T side anymore, can you really?
No, it's a lot harder to, well, the Banana is generally a lot harder now to get into. I do like the changes on the bomb site itself though.
You know one thing I do miss though, and the 1-6 players will probably hate me for saying this, the removal of Generator.
Ah, yeah, from Counter-Strike.
Yeah, Generator made that such an easy spot to hold on the CT side. Anyway, Diffuse coming in now from VeryGames, so Smith's your last man standing. He does manage to get the kill on the Eco Bash. I would have expected that, to be honest.
Well, yeah, it wasn't really an Eco Bash though. Only one player left, and basically if he started defusing that bomb 1.5 seconds later, they would have lost the round. So, well played there by TeamCRG. Picking up the kills in that eco, and just goes to show how powerful the Glock is.
Yep. Let's give you the quick Alienware roster rundown, of course, for VeryGames on your CT side at the moment. We've got MBK, Kenny S, Smith, Scream, and Existence. For TeamCRG, it's going to be Pritch, Red Snake, Ben. I'm not sure who Mexican See-Through King is. I'm going to have to do the sort of maths on that. Who would that be? And Paint, of course, is going to be the 5th. Do you know what? I'm going to figure that out right now. Let's see who that would be. That would be MSK, obviously. So, that's going to be the 3rd round on the board. Now, this is where it's going to get interesting, though, because this is where we should see the buy. I mean, they could have forced the buy on that round, considering they had the plant, but I'm not a big fan of forcing the buy. I don't know about yourself, Walkline.
Well, in some situations, you kind of have to, kind of like second half, if you're down a lot of rounds. But it's not worth taking that risk in the first game of your group stage in the first half. So I totally agree with the decision from CRG to wait it out so they get all those grenades, all the smokes, and all the flashes.
Yep. As you can see, it looks like it's going to not really pay dividends for them so far. As Smith grabs a fast headshot, moving in up. Banana is going to pick up the 2nd kill onto Paint. Now it does seem like second mid is going to be pushed here. We've got a 3-man push from the guys over on TeamCRG. Good smoke cover to actually facilitate that push as well. Now it does seem like they've managed to make it all the way into apps. So chance that we could see a covered site push here. Are we going to see it? Oh, MBK from Pit. It's double frags with the M4. That's going to be Pritch and Ben shut down the entry. Red Snake going to grab an AK-47 frag as some form of consolation to MBK, but that's not going to stop the hat-trick from Smith there, and really Smith was the key play that round, wasn't he?
He was, and this is what VeryGames are known to do. Basically, one of their most known styles of playing is on Inferno as CT. Smith, not even Smith, but the entire team as CT plays like they're playing the offensive side, pushing down middle and backstabbing Banana. So, fantastic play. And once again, you see them pushing down offensively. Smith do get picked off, though. But Kenny with a quick reply with that grenade, and Mexican Seafood down to 18 HP.
As we can see, there was a lot of action, but not really that many frags, but a lot of HP removed from CRG. So CRG now find themselves in a fairly actionable position where if anything goes wrong here, one bad grenade or anything like that, they could be looking at yet another round worth of eco. So AK-47's in play. This is going to be a pivotal round now. If obviously if CRG do pick this up, we should see a return buy from VeryGames. But it does go a long way to breaking that VG momentum, doesn't it? If they can grab this round. Yeah,
it does. I mean, they need to start picking up rounds right off the bat. Really, being on that T side, it's the harder side. But I mean, going up against a side like VeryGames, when VeryGames play T, they've got insane strategies and smokes. Just want to add it in quick here before we get the push on to B, that we are going to be directly on the game servers for the next one.
Good point, yep.
There's a lot of lag on GoToV, so sorry about that.
Yeah, we do apologise, something that's out of our control, of course, but we will be connecting direct to servers. I've managed to figure out a solution to do that for us, so we shouldn't have the lag issues that we do see on GoToV on a regular basis, of course, which, you know, does make the event somewhat less enjoyable. Anyway, we are going to see Scream, Kenny, and Scream again picking up frags. So that's going to be the second gun run shut down. And now we find CRG. They've got to be eco here. They're going to be. It's going to be a Glock rush onto Banana, I would think.
Oh, really surprised here to see Pritch from CRG opting to buy a P250 over the Glock. I mean, it's only $300, but in the end, why
that's
not
a
just...
HE grenade.
Yeah, why not just keep that Glock? It's so powerful, and you can just utilize that instead. Oh well. As I was saying, it's going to be an eco here from CRG, and they are opting to go for that banana bomb site.
Yep, as you can see, Red Snake and company starting to push in. 4-man stack on Banana right now. Glock's going to be switching over to Bursty as we get close enough to grab some frags. It looks like we're going to see Existence with the headshot. Pritch replying. Scream going to pick up double frags over the AK-47s. Kenny and MBK already making that early rotation, so... Bomb has been planted here, so an extra $800 per person on the CRG bank balance, but it's not going to be enough to hold the site. Obviously, it's going to be 4-0 in the end of that round, as we see really VeryGames in a position though where that retake was always going to happen, wasn't it, Walkline?
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say that the Pritch buying that P250 seemed to pay off because he got the kill, he got the AWP and was in a fantastic position to hold that after plan, but he missed 4 shots in a row with an AWP. And then getting taken out, so not really the AWP of the team here for CRG. I hope, in fact, we see Ben utilizing that AWP. So good news for CRG. Pritch not the favourable offer for their team.
As we can see yet again, it looks like we are seeing another sort of second mid stack here from CRG. They're not doing much with it at this point, though. I think they're just trying to make a bit of noise and keep VeryGames sort of honest across the map. Then again, VeryGames very rarely pull off, you know, weird stacks or anything like that. They just tend to have 1 or 2 strats that they run on that CT side that work for them, don't they? Yeah,
I mean, they do. Well, I wouldn't call it weird stuff. No, they do some pushes as CT, but it's not like they do 7 different setups for those pushes. They just pretty much push down banana and push down middle and sandwich the people in banana. So, I mean, it's not rocket science, but they've got the aim to back it up as well. Scream here ups up with a kill to paint.
Not before Red Snake could actually do a bit of damage to him, but yeah, still got the kill regardless of the team fire. Now, Existence with a hat-trick of frags, though, he's going to shut that down, and that's going to leave Ben here with just the AWP, 4-on-1. I was just about to compliment CRG on their actual entry into the site, though. They had some good skybox flashbangs and smokes that actually allowed them to get in, but it's one thing to have the setup, it's another thing to execute, isn't it, Walkline?
Yeah, I mean, basically, if you have the best strats and the best teamwork in the world, you will still, at the end of the day, need to kill your opponents. So, I mean, I have to agree with you. They did a good job getting into that B bomb set, but they weren't connecting their shots.
Yeah, I mean, if you afforded VeryGames that same sort of setup, they would take that site 9 times out of 10. I think that's just the difference between the two teams here. Not taking away from CRG, they're a good representation of the UK scene. They handle themselves with class as well, which is something that you can't say about, you know, the UK scene in general. But they're always good sports. I mean, Red Snake's been around for a long time. I remember covering him way back in the SGL days. So he's no stranger to playing at a decent level of play in the UK scene. But stepping up against VeryGames is completely different from just playing your sort of average UK teams. Now we are going to see MBK with another headshot onto Red Snake. He's had that pit pretty much on lock, and really he's been the reason that they haven't wanted to approach that covered site, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, you do not want to face off against MBK, and not on this map either.
Oh, nice pick.
That's a nice little gap there coming out from MSK. No, MKS.
MSK. Yeah. So MSK getting that opening pick here onto the covered site. Now, it does look like CRG are going to sell that as a bit of a fake here. They're going to fall back down mid and go banana. And it seems like VeryGames have bought it, so this could be an opportunity that they could actually take advantage of. As you can see, Scream holding banana. He's going to be shut down by Pritch, and I believe that would have been Ben, though, with the AK-47 fire as well. Yeah, so good team play from CRG. I'm going to sell the fake. The rotation coming in, though, pretty fast from VeryGames. VeryGames aren't you know, want to sit around and wait and rest on the laurels, so to speak. Bomb does go down. Retake coming in through ruins here. Existence with the AK-47 kill onto Ben. That was only 21 HP to work with on Ben though, so nothing to write home about. Walkland at this point, 3-on-3 here, with obviously CRG having the positional advantage in that bomb tick. And you think they can secure a victory?
Yeah, it seems like it.
Nice.
Well held here by CRG. And what I like about this afterplan is that CRG isn't taking any not any risks. They're not pushing out to try to get the frags. They're just holding the angles and just utilizing the positional advantage that they have in an afterplant situation. So even though it was 3v4, and VeryGames had one player left, they well, at the end it was 3v3, so well, I'm not going to take anything away from CRG. Let's just hope they can keep this up, because if they lose this round, Jay, that's going to be really poor
well, that
for their
resets the
economy.
cash,
Yeah.
Then they're on a $1,500 respawn, so it's not like they'll be able to buy off the back of that.
Oh, team kill as well, coming in from Paint here, not catching a break.
So there's another $3,000 removed straight away.
Another team kill from Smith onto NBK.
Not to be outdone.
Nah, I mean, VeryGames, they fair play to them. They thought they'd get a team kill in.
You got to make it fair after all.
Yeah, VeryGames is a fair team. You don't really see them looking at the rule books to gain advantages in.
No, actually, that's one thing that VeryGames have never been accused of, being real lawyers. They are one of the teams out there that play with, a huge amount of sportsmanship. Although the French scene can get a little bit hairy at times, I will say that. Like Land 79 has not been without its controversies in the past.
It's true.
As we can see, it looks like we are going to see a big push coming in from that be MSK, but not really tagging up on Kenny there at all. In fact, did he hit Kenny? He knocked him down to 7 HP, but it didn't look like he was particularly. It looked like it was more spray and pray than actual aim there. So that's going to break the momentum of CRG now, which means it's a $1,500 reset on the buy, and you'd anticipate at least another 2 ecos here, considering we had that TK as well.
Yeah. If they. Well, normally, if only one player can't buy, you would still go for the buy. So hopefully they'll only need. They might only need this eco if they've got some money spare from that last round. We'll see. Seeing as we're not on the server, we can't see the actual money of every single player. X6 with 3 kills there. Smith picking up 1 as well. Nice work from VeryGames. And a little bit surprised to see VeryGames. I know they're an offensive team, and I know they like to push it out as CT, but versus an eco, it's really no point.
No, it is a risky strat, but then again, it's not like VeryGames are particularly intimidated by CRG. Even when they are playing, the sort of style of play that's pretty reckless, they should still be picking up those frags. Anyway, we're going to see another aggressive push here from MBK and the guys. It looks like have they already pushed second mid here? Let's try and find out where MBK actually is. Yeah, he's already down to the bottom of apps here, so pretty much broaching second mid now. And there's the frag Existence, and Smith's going to pick up M4 kills. MBK with the headshot. That's going to be now Pritch shut down. I was going to say I was going to leave Paint as your last man standing, but not standing for long. Flawless victory again for VeryGames, and you have to say at this point now, VeryGames 10-1 up Warclown. This is pretty much a full-blown conclusion, isn't it? Yeah,
this is not going to be as exciting as our previous game. I don't see CRG locking down CT side versus VeryGames, who pretty much can flash any angle. But then again, we didn't see Kick beating Anexis, did we? No, that's true. I'm not going to take it away just yet. But yeah, as we can see, CRG on a full buy now. They got an AWP as well on MSK. But Kenny just picking up Pritch, not having really any big problems with that pickup either.
As you can see, Kenny still in position here. I don't know what Autodice is playing at. Sometimes it just throws you that, randomness of nothing. So I'll switch over to first person for the time being. It does look like that bomb is going to be moving towards Banana, but falling back again. As you can see, that 2-man stack at the top of Banana here really has repelled just about everything that that CRG have thrown at it so far.
Yeah, they just keep spamming the smoke, and it puts the CRG team on such low HP. So they're a little bit afraid to peek up and head up that Banana. Smith just rinses the head of Paint, and that's 11-1, and we're going to have an eco here coming out from CRG. Don't think they even have enough money to force by Galils.
Well, here's the story of the game so far. I just did the maths in my head. We're going to have 18 deaths on the VeryGames squad so far, and it's now the 13th round of the first half. Whereas, I mean, if you just look at CRG, you're talking, well, that's 22, 34, 46. You're looking at 58 deaths so far for the guys over on the British squad of CRG. Now again, another formality that was just, I was always going to go the way of VeryGames, which is why I didn't put particularly too much effort into casting that round. I think at this point now, 12-1 up, CRG have got to be thinking, okay, we need to do something here to make this scoreline at least respectable, because it is group stages, and score does matter in group stages, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. We saw that during Copenhagen games as well with a three-way tie. Basically, I think CRG needs to play it a little bit more, simple tactics and just push as a unit, do simple splits, which doesn't require a lot of timing either. But as I was saying, that Mexican seafood gets the opening kill onto KennyS, but Exixence replies onto him to bring it back down to 4v4.
NSK did manage to grab the opening frag, but that's one of the few times so far that we have seen CRG actually have a one-man advantage in the first sort of 20 to 30 seconds of the round. But even so, they're not able to capitalise on it. They're not able to make any positional gains for the frag, and they're kind of beating their head against the French brick wall now.
Does look like CRG are heading over towards that banana bomb site, but they kind of need to start making things happen for them, because they're using so much time pretty much doing nothing here, being a little bit off balance there. Finally we see the smokes and flashes being put into position onto that B bomb site, and let's see what they can do here, Jay.
Yep, as we can see, Ruins is going to be held down by Existence. He's going to pick up the AWP kill. That's going to be the bomb down on the entry. He's forced away by Pritch though with the AK-47 fire, so it does look like we do have an entry on the site. Scream's got something to say about that. Is he going to be the hat-trick of kills? Yep, it is. Nice free man though, and we are going to see now the scoreline go 13-1. So just 2 rounds here remaining. In fact, sorry, 1 round remaining in the half, I should say. You'd anticipate the pistols going the way of VeryGames on that T side, and this should very well be a quick game, shouldn't it?
Yeah, man, it should. I mean, as you were saying as well, VeryGames pretty much has the advantage on that pistol round with the skills, the tactics, and also having the Glocks in hand. So I mean, it does look dire here for CRG. KennyS also picking up a kill here. Scream getting a kill. It's they're making it hard here for CRG to even make this game remotely interesting, Jay. Yep,
I mean, it is just basically the difference between having played on this sort of level before and not.
All right.
CRG will eventually, get to the point where they're not getting crushed as badly. But I think the difference between these two teams is obvious just from watching the the individual plays. It's not like we've seen anything special from VG, because they've not been forced to do anything special so far. Anyway, CRG, first time in a long time we've seen them with the 2-man advantage and a positional advantage to actually capitalise on the numerical difference in game.
Right, let's look at NBK here, Jay. He's been known to clutch before. He's been known to have great aim. Will he be able to get that peek onto one of the players here?
Well, that flashbang somewhat ineffectual, as it was just a little bit further than it was intended. Now that one definitely did do the intended effect. All of it slowing down NBK's push, and it looks like Red Snake's going to pick up that kill. That's going to be the second round of CRG's first half on the board, and a much needed round it was. How much of a confidence booster is that going to be going into pistols?
Well, yeah, winning that last round will pretty much increase what shall I say, the confidence of CRG getting into the pistol round. But I mean, they will still be looking at that statistics, knowing that they're 2 to 13 down, and what that tells them is, oh, if we lose this pistol round, it's GG. I don't know, man. CRG really needs to do something epic here to get back into the game, and they are doing that. They're playing it a little bit offensively with some nades being thrown down at the start of the round, picking up KennyS, and also doing some damage to Scream and Smith. But NBK replies straight away.
Saying that, MSK's there to shut them down on the exit from apartments. But as you can see, it looks like VeryGames are actually moving over towards Banana here, and they have been for quite some time. So even with CRG shutting down the Apps push, it doesn't look like they're going to stop the bomb plant here. And we are going to see, it looks like Smith's moving in through Ruins with the headshot. Is he going to grab the second frag? He's looking for it. Doesn't really connect. He has to reload that Glock. He's forced to fall back into Ruins. CRG probably shouldn't let Smith get away though. That's most definitely looking a gift. Oh! Now double frags from Smith. Oh, George Foreman that round. 3 headshots in a row, and that's just going to show the difference between the players and server, isn't it? Really, that's a prime example of.
I mean, looking at the statistics also from previous tournaments from Smith, I mean, it's just so well played. There's so many good players in that VeryGames lineup. That was scary. He was on to 1 HP, was it? at least was red HP, and he picks up those 3 kills in the end.
Yep.
Wow.
Kind of CRG did sort of line up for that in Ruins. I'm not quite sure why they just wouldn't contain him, to be honest, and push around the back of Ruins, but that's, you know, hindsight is 2020 after all.
Alright, so CRG forced onto an eco here. Not going to be able to do a lot against the VeryGames lineup. Paint does get 2 kills, but still needs to get into the bomb site and get the defuse against 3 of the best players in the world. So let's see what they can make happen. They would like to get a couple of more kills, but Nathan is doing it hard for them.
Yeah, MBK's got something to say about that. It's going to leave Paint as your last man standing, and well, not standing for long at all. So 15-2, game point now for the French squad of VeryGames. I would anticipate this next round going the way as well. We are going to see a forced buy here, so for masses. Looks like we've got a shotty in play as well on Red Snake. So chances of a victory here for Team CRG in this round, I would say snowball's chance in hell. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, Red Snake really needs to pick the right position, and he needs to have the VeryGames lineup push him, because that Mag 7 is incredibly dangerous. So I mean, if he can manage to get 1 kill, I mean close combat here, he'll come out on top. In fact, he will get a pick onto NBK. Let's see. So far so good, Jay. Picking up some the 2 first kills of the round. It's all down to Scream, Smith, and Existence. But once again, the quality of those 3 players.
I was going to say, anytime you've got Smith still in play, it's not a full-blown conclusion that you're going to win the round. Now, speaking of the devil, there's Smith with the AK-47 frag. Existence going to be shut down in return by Pain, though, so the FAMAS 5.56 rounds do find his chin and do get the frag. Now, Paint moving in with that FAMAS. He's going to pick up a kill onto Smith. That's going to be a key kill, and Paint's going to grab the final kill. So CRG extend their agony a little bit longer here. They're going to make the scoreline somewhat more respectable, 15-3. They should have money for a full buy now as well, which is obviously going to help the cause. So, really at this point, I think you're going to see VeryGames eco maybe 1, even 2 rounds, and then they're going to come out and crush again. Yeah,
they have no problems whatsoever having eco rounds. They've got so many rounds to play around with. And I have to point out MSK here bought an AUG, which is something you don't really see every
stay
game.
AUG in competitive play. I think that is genuinely the first time I have seen that used since like 1.3. In a serious matchup. I mean, when they're playing against a team like VeryGames. He's even zoomed in with it as well. I like it.
He's up against an eco, so he might be able to pick up some frags with it.
It's kind of cool, you know what I mean, seeing fresh guns in the game. You of course, you've got the couple of new guns in there in goal, which are very viable, but really to be buying that Stayer AUG at this level of play, as you can see, that's usually what it will lead to. You'll just get shut down, and well, you can now see the VeryGames entry. So I'm not going to stop SNK and Paint from picking up frags though, just because one of the team members did decide BMSK, who actually had the Stayer AUG. Not going to stop them from picking up the round victory. Like I say, I'm not surprised by that, to be honest. It was against a full eco. But this is going to be the telling point now. This is where we are going to see VeryGames on a full buy. So let's see if we can get the... I think I saw an ARP on the side there for a second. I'd imagine it's, if anybody's going to be using it, probably going to be Smith's, isn't it?
Probably Kenny S. Let's see. Yeah, it is Kenny S.
Oh, it's Kenny S, actually. So.
Oh, he gets picked up straight away, though. But the nice thing about VeryGames is pretty much every player on that team is Snorper. On any given day, so let's see if any of the players picks it up to try to get to equalize onto one of the bomb sites. Existence will be the man in charge of that AWP. I'm just gonna check out. In fact, they are just chilling out. VeryGames. They have no rush at all. They want to get that equalizing frag before they commit to one of the bomb sites. They still got 1 minute remaining. So no reason to stress just yet.
No, plenty of time to find that frag to equalise, but I think it's going to be MBK who's going to be looking for it as well. As we can see, it looks like he's going to be pushing into apartments. Red Snake forced to fall back just a little bit here. Not really giving up his position though, as you can see, he's still on the balcony. Now there we go, there's the position given up. So that could have very well be an opening here for VeryGames if they do capitalise on the apps push. Looks like Scream has made his way up onto quad side, past quad side over towards Arch side, but he's going to be shut down by Smiths. In fact, the MSK was shut down by Smiths, I should say, with the AWP. That's going to leave Red Snake in a very vulnerable position on that covered site, centre of the site. going to get flanked. That's going to be the frag. So Smith's 3-on-1 here. He does have it all to do, but he does have a... in fact, it's not 3-on-1, I should say. It's now 3-on-0.
Alright, so CRG is slowly getting back into this game. It has to be said, it's a CT-biased map, so CRG might be able to get a lot more rounds here. They'll be happy, and that'll help them out a lot, stopping VeryGames in their tracks when they've got a full buy. So I think what played a big difference is the pre-nades that they threw onto CNS at the start of the round, pretty much negating the AWPer of VeryGames. And we are going to have a buy here coming up from VeryGames, or at least a lot of nades, so I'm presuming they got some weapons in hand as well. In fact, they're only on pistols here, Jay.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's just pistols that I've seen so far. I haven't seen any AKs pop up or anything like that, so... yep, nobody's got one on the back either, so just pistols and flashbangs. It looks like they are going to be running a committed eco here. Not necessarily a massive fan of that. I mean, sometimes it does work and you do sort of pull off a miracle victory, but I mean, really, probably all they're hoping for here is the plant, to be honest. I don't think even VeryGames wouldn't be hoping for a victory on this round, but if they can get the extra $800, that covers the cost of those smokes and flashbangs, and anybody who gets away with a weapon after that, it's all gravy. So I can sort of understand the logic behind it, but as you can see, it's only going to leave Kenny S. Now, the bomb did go down here, so I'd say that's pretty much a victory here for VeryGames. Kenny's also going to grab himself an M4 as well, so if he can escape. If I was Kenny here, I'd just run away and keep that M4, but it seems like he is going to go clutch and try and find the frags here. Now, he's forced him off the bomb, so the defusal was broken, but it's not going to stop the defusal in time, as you can see. Ben straight back on that as soon as the kill came in on Kenny, and that's now going to be a 15-6 scoreline, so what could have been a 16-2 scoreline is starting to look a lot more respectable, isn't it, Walkline?
Yeah, it is, and as you were saying as well, you really want to pick up the rounds in the group stages, and VeryGames probably the favorite of this group, Jay. So any round they can pick up against VeryGames will help them immensely with reaching the playoffs here. And that eco from VeryGames has to be said, it was a really well played eco. They got the bomb planted and got some kills.
Well, as we can see, it looks like another sort of standard CT push-down banana here. Nothing too spectacular coming in from CRG. They managed to use the flashbangs to get in position, but VeryGames are well aware of that. They're a seasoned team. They're not going to be confused by a deep banana push. Looks like Existence is going to be confused by that peek from Pritch, though. He got caught down at the bench. Paint and company very patient here on banana. They haven't actually pushed any further than the bottom of banana, so it seems like VeryGames are just going to rotate around that and go over towards the covered site here. A push the entry has to be on here, though. I mean, if they don't get the entry, they find themselves 3-on-2, and really with Ben in the... Oh, in fact, VeryGames have actually switched it back up. They've gone banana here, so they sold a good fake. Such a good fake, in fact, that I even bought it. And I can see everything that's going on in game. So, that's going to be the entry onto the site. We should see a plant here momentarily. Kenny with a good AWP peek. Is he going to find the second frag? Nope. Looks like Paint is going to take an MBK, and it looks like Paint again. Is he going to open up? Yeah, he does get the second kill onto Scream. I was going to say he was in a position to do so. GoTV did decide that it was going to lag me out, but I did anticipate the frag going his way, though. Paint still again coming out of position on Ruins. That's going to be the hat-trick of kills for Paint. And really, if anybody is stepping up to the plate here for CRG, it has to be considered that it's Paint.
Yeah, he's on the most kills here for TeamCRG. He's got 13 kills, 4 assists. And I mean, 15-7 against a squad like VeryGames. I think not only does it look respectable already for CRG, considering most of these rounds are from the second half, 5 of them, but they're on the stride now. They feel happy. They're at that LAN event, and they're really just chanting on each other. I think they're feeling really good right now, even though they're down 7-15.
7-15 is not impossible to come back from. We have seen weird things happen in Counter-Strike and in esports in general, but I would say there's more chance of getting shit from a rocking horse here than the further rounds, the further 8 rounds that are needed. So Kenny and MBK on the entry here on the covered site. That's going to completely shut it down. It's going to leave Paint as your last man standing. Let's find out where he is. Yep, he's making the rotation here. He knows that it's do or die here at this point. He's no point saving, so he's going to be in a 5-on-1. This will be a miracle if he does manage to find these frags. I can't really foresee it happening, though. There should be game point here for VeryGames. Still, CRG salvaging. So, oh, 1 bullet to the head of Smiths. Nicely done.
Wow.
There's a second frag from Paint. Another headshot. That's going to be Scream taken down. Is he going to find the third one? He does find the third one as well. Switches out to the AK, so he doesn't even lose the time reloading here. He does know that MBK is in his favourite spot in pit. Is he going to force the peek here from MBK? He does. He opens up with the AK. He knows that Scream's above him. That's going to be the final frag. Just too much of an ask there for Paint, really. And really, I mean, CRG probably can walk away from that thinking, okay, well, that's not too bad. Especially considering the first half performance that we saw from VeryGames, which was nothing short of just impeachable. So seven rounds against who have to be considered probably the favourites in the group. Well, I say probably, who will be considered favourites in the group. Not a bad result at all, really.
No, I mean, and Paint must be feeling pretty strong right now. Not only playing well and pretty much helping CRG pick up those rounds in the second half, but also that last round, even though it didn't pan out for him. That was some sick shots.
That was, yeah. I mean, we saw that kill on Smith was you know, I'd say the kill of the tournament so far. One bullet straight to the head in a clutch situation like that. That's, you know, it's always good to see. It looks like Paint is going to be on for the duration of the tournament. So CRG, I don't really see them getting out of groups, to be honest. But like I say, I've seen stranger things happen already in this tournament with Anexis going down to kick eSports. So,
do you know what the next game is?
I'm not entirely certain. Actually,
it's VeryGames versus Kick.
Oh, now that will be the best indication of where Kick actually do stand.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the battle of the first and second place of Group A here. Yep. So, I mean, for me, it's like I'm thinking, all right, so VeryGames will pretty much roll Kick. That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, that's what we think, but I mean,
but then again, you got the Anexis game, yeah, so yeah.
But I think that'll be a good indication of where Kick actually stand in the the European scene, because VeryGames very consistent.
Yeah.
It's not like Anexis blow hot and cold. They will tell you that themselves. Whereas VeryGames they tend to just they have that set strat that they'll run, a default strat. They'll have a couple to back it up. The rest of it just boils down to them playing as a team.
Yeah.
And really, I think if Kick can get 10 rounds on the board against VeryGames, I'd be pleasantly surprised by that.
Yeah, me too. And I mean, when CRG got that many rounds, I think he can do a lot more. And I would have to say, at least before, Inferno was VeryGames' best map. They got they pretty much, I think they had the highest win ratio on Inferno coming in from Source. So.
Yeah, it most definitely was. That and Dust 2.
Yeah.
I mean, Dust 2 was, I would say Dust 2 was perhaps their bread and butter, actually, over Inferno. No doubt somebody on Twitch chat will probably prove me wrong, and they'll go and dig out.
Someone's going to bring out an Excel document
I was
going
to say somebody will break out some percentages and stuff. Feel free to do so if you do want to correct me. But I'm pretty sure that Dust 2 was actually towards the end of Source anyway. Was actually their go-to map. It's the one that they would usually pick. And I know that a lot of teams would ban it against them. So it's not like VeryGames have any weak maps in particular. So.
No.
You could argue that Nuke is a good map for them. I'd say that's probably the weakest map though, just from prior experience. But that's because I'm thinking about Reason, who that was their strongest map. And whenever I saw VeryGames pushed in Source, it was always Reason doing it on Nuke. So probably a bit disingenuous to say that's the sort of weakest map, because that was Reason's strongest map.
Yeah.
Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to take a brief break. When we come back, we will have that Kick eSports versus VeryGames game in Group A of the Mad Catz CS:GO Invitational. Of course, we're here in Berlin. The tournament is going down at the Gadget Show live in Birmingham. If you are anywhere near Birmingham, I do implore you to go and check it out. The Heaven Media guys are very accommodating. They will they will sort of go out the way to make your experience better. I know that from being there as a visitor. Yeah. The first year I went as first and second year I did as well. I think I did the first and second year as casting, and the third year as just a visitor. And yeah, their stand is usually pretty solid. So go check it out. Ton of great stuff over at the Gadget Show though. It's not just like there's only one or two stands. It's I'm not sure how many halls it is this year, but I think it was 4 last year. So all packed to the brim as well. It's not like they just have 1 or 2 stands in there and just a couple of activities to do. There's plenty of stuff to do. So if you are in the area, if you're in the sort of Midlands of the UK, Northwest is only an hour and a half drive really. So I implore you to go and check it out. Anyway, like I said, we're going to take a brief break. When we come back, myself and Walkline will have coverage of the VeryGames Kick eSports game, which I think is going to be perhaps the most entertaining game in Group A. It's
going to be worth watching. And later on today, we will have VeryGames versus Anexis. So don't go anywhere. Just a little bit of a quick break.